I was 3 weeks into a working holiday. Short-term rentals. The first 2 were fine, good reviews, normal hosts. The third I booked because it was cheap and had a good location. That was the full extent of my due diligence. The apartment was nice, nicer than I expected. The host had left a welcome note and a bottle of wine. I sent my family a photo and said I landed somewhere good. The first 2 nights were normal. Work during the day, back in the evenings, cook, watch something on my laptop, sleep. On the 3rd morning, I noticed something I hadn't noticed before. There was a small clock on the bookshelf, facing the room. Wooden, was decorative. I'd glanced at it on arrival and forgotten it. On the 3rd morning, the light hit it differently, and I saw the lens. I stood in the middle of the room for a full minute, trying to decide whether what I was seeing was what I thought it was. Then I picked it up and turned it over. Battery compartment, micro SD slot. It was a camera. I left immediately. Didn't pack. Took my phone, my laptop, my bag, walked out, stood on the footpath, and my hands were shaking too much to unlock my phone for 2 minutes. I called the rental platform. On hold 11 minutes. Called the police. They said stay away from the property and they'd send someone. Called my mom. She didn't pick up. 2 officers arrived within 30 minutes. They removed the device, bagged it as evidence, asked for the host's details. Then they went through the rest of the apartment. They found 2 more. 1 in the smoke detector in the bedroom, 1 behind a small print above the toilet. 3 cameras total, all with micro SD cards, all recording continuously since before I arrived. The bedroom camera, I kept coming back to that. Active for 3 days. While I slept, while I changed, while I did every private thing a person does in a room they believe to be private. The host had 28 5-star reviews. 4 years on the platform, nothing unusual in any review. Which means either it had never been caught before, or people noticed and said nothing, or both. The host was arrested, charged with unlawful surveillance and voyeurism. Convicted 18 months later, 2 years. He appealed. I stopped following the case at some point because it wasn't doing me any good. I still travel. I made myself get back into it within 6 months, because the alternative was letting what he did shrink my life. And I wasn't going to give him that. I check every room of every rental before I unpack. I bought an RF detector. It's not foolproof, but it catches some things. Some things is better than nothing. There were 17 previous guests the platform could identify for the period the cameras were installed. All contacted. I don't know what they said. I think we share something we didn't ask for. Check the clocks, the smoke detectors, behind the frames. Anything with a dark surface facing out into the room. I tell everyone I know who travels alone. Some think I'm anxious. Some go home and check their own rentals. He filmed me for 72 hours and I never knew. I only know about mine because the light hit a clock at a different angle on a Tuesday morning. I think about what I don't know about the other 16 stays.